Hello and welcome. My name is Danielle. I'm an ambassador with Rada Publishing House. Today, I'd like to welcome a special guest, Gina Smith. She's a client of Maya's, a contributing writer in Infinite Cosmic Records, Sacred Doorways to Healing and Remembering, a book of healing by Maya Verzanilla, known as Maya the Shaman. I'd like to congratulate Gina as she's been chosen to contribute her story and session with Maya. Maya the Shaman is the original creatrix of the Infinite Cosmic Records, which is a powerful healing method that stems out of the Lemurian code healing, which is also her original healing modality. So Maya's book, The Infinite Cosmic Records, Story of Healing and Remembering, is produced and published by Rada Publishing House. So before we proceed forward with the interview, I'd like to add in what might be said by many of Maya's clients, so you can have a better grasp as to what Infinite Cosmic Records is. It's very much a special healing modality created by none other than Maya the Shaman, and it's an adventure into your many timelines. And what many people say is it's kind of like a hybrid of past life regression, Akashic records, or what a lot of people are familiar with in terms of Dolores Cannon's work. Others are saying that it's a bit of a shadow work aspect. It brings out the inner child work, as well as ancestral healing for their lineage. So according to Maya, it kind of all depends upon your intention when you step into the session. She likes to add that the most interesting part about the Infinite Cosmic Records is that it's one step into a realm where clients are able to go into a multi-dimensional reality. It can be an out of the world kind of experience. So you might go to a planet you once resided on, and it has the ability to open the portals to other magic realms. Infinite Cosmic Records is also able to guide you and direct you via messages provided by the universe to assist you during your journey. Your spirit guides show up too, so that's also another added feature. And it's actually nice because if you're familiar with ayahuasca or having any kind of spiritual journey, you may as well potentially experience a sense of purging to help you move forward. But it won't be with any side effects. It's all done in a very safe environment. So it's really amazing what the Infinite Cosmic Records can do for you. It's a super, super special experience. I did it actually as well, and I know that it's one of those things where if you're open and you have the ability to just let go and release, you will tap into doorways that will flash before your eyes, so to speak. It could be very visual. With that being said, I'd like to welcome Gina once again, and I'm so happy to have you here once again. And I hope you've been well since the last time we talked. And welcome. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I know
I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. I know you've been through a lot recently. But we're blessed to have you in the Infinite Cosmic Records. I know you're a special client of Maya's, and so you probably have some really unique perspectives and a lot to share. So, if starting out, if you could just tell us a little bit about your experience of what it's like working with Maya the Shaman in your Cosmic Records.
Working with Maya has been very enlightening, but also nurturing. So it's been a wonderful experience because she's helped me grow and helped guide me through my spiritual awakening. But she's also been like a big sister too. So it's been, it's been so nurturing, So
I love that.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
I wish I could move right next door to her and just be a neighbor.
You would be an amazing neighbor. And I feel like you would just be sitting there in peace, in your own home.
I'd call her up and say, "Hey, you want some tea?
Mm-hmm.
Let's have tea time."
Aw. Well, I'm happy to hear you have special bond. And I know that from my experience working with Maya, it kind of gets to that point because it's so natural for her. She has a very nurturing gentle energy. So I
Hmm.
absolutely couldn't agree with you more on that. When you first went into the session, what was your intention going into the session to be able to access those particular doorways?
Well, I was kind of piggybacking off of the previous um, encounter with the Starseeds chapter in the previous book, and I wanted to expand on the um, the relationship and the knowledge that I had a star family. I was put here on this planet for a reason, and I wanted to kind of delve into that and find out more intricately the reasons why certain things had happened. And so that's what we did. We kind of peeled back the onion skin, into really finding out the real reasons why things are the way they are. And so it was so amazingly enlightening. I mean, oh my God, it was almost terrifying too, but it was such a relief because things have happened, but you don't know why things have happened. And so doing the session with Maya was really, putting a spotlight on why things happened.
What a beautiful intention. And I hope it gave you all the answers you were seeking. I'm sure it also opened up more questions too, you know?
Well, I wasn't really left with any more questions.
Okay.
I was really just all of my questions got answered, and that was a beautiful thing. I went in with certain questions, and all of them got answered. And so when you get those questions answered, you kind of have more or less your marching orders.
Yeah.
You have it laid out before you, and then it's up to you to either go with it, or fine tune it.
Okay. And it's great too because she's such a good guide through walking you through the
Hmm.
process. So that's
Hmm.
good that you were able to get all that out and
Hmm.
into these doorways. With that being said, how many doorways did you walk through? And if you could maybe share with us a little bit about each doorway and what it felt like, or if you saw anything, what your overall experience was.
I went through three different doorways because I had kind of three different questions, and each doorway was looked completely different, had different colors. When I got in there, they were totally, I mean, talk about a scene out of Monsters Incorporated with all the doors. You just walk into another world. You just open up a door and there you are. And there's someone there. There was one doorway that I went into. The person wasn't there right away. I was in there and I could see them coming in the distance. And so that was unique because the first couple of doors I went through, the person was there, waiting for me. And then the third one, the person wasn't there, and I saw them approaching in the distance. And it's kind of, it builds the anticipation of the encounter, and the experience of being in each door was so very different. It's like meeting different people in your family. It's like having lunch with your aunt, your great uncle, and your cousin, all in one day. It feels like family, but your family is so unique because there's so many different, one's old, one's middle age, and one's your age, and there's just so many different things that they bring to the conversation because of their experience. And so that's what happened. I felt that they were very willing to, tell me the answers to my questions. There wasn't any hesitancy. There was just love and appreciation. And there was a very emotional encounter. Um, I get emotional thinking about it, but there was there was such an emotional reunion. Actually, was a reunion, and I was told, what I already kind of knew, but was hearing all my life. But then I could just you could hear it clearly, and and I found out that, yeah, I'm not imagining things. I'm hearing that I'm doing things right. I'm on the right path. I'm I'm this way because I was made to be this way, and I'm okay. I'm okay, and I'm gonna be okay. And
So,
that was so rewarding to hear that.
hmm, that's really nice. Did the doorways lead into like a realm or like a time frame, or I mean like an era of time, or what did it look like when you walked through the doorway?
Well, there was three different doorways, and one was a cave, so I didn't see any time. One was a jungle, so I didn't see any time era, and then another one was a kind of a meadow area with a tree, and so there wasn't any, time era or anything that I could identify that this was the 18th century or
Right.
2000 BC or anything. It was just empty, vast landscapes, except for that one cave. Except for the cave was the place where the individual was in the distance approaching, and so it was a weird it was a weird experience at first, because I mean, if you can imagine, you're at a door and you're in a hallway that looks like a regular house, and then you open up the door and you're all of a sudden in a cave. I mean, it was like a movie set. You just open the door to the land of the lost or something, and it's this cave. It's
Okay.
dark, it's cold. I hear water dripping. I see it's lit kind of just on the ground with glowing rocks or something, and I see somebody in the distance coming. I could hear clothes rustling. You hear footsteps and clothes rustling, and you direct your ear to that direction, and then I could see, oh, there is someone coming there, and they're getting closer and closer and closer. So that's the only, different experience from the two landscapes. I mean, one was a jungle.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
what's
I mean,
interesting about what you're saying is that you could hear, because I know a lot of the individual I've spoke with, they could visually see, but I haven't heard very many people say that they can hear. So that's pretty interesting. It's very cool because it almost.
that one was very, very interesting. That encounter was very interesting.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I can't even expand on it except that it was extremely interesting.
And you got all your questions answered, is what you
I
said. Is
I
it because
did.
you talked to somebody, or is it because you were just like speaking with your higher self?
Um, I met my space brothers. I met my space brothers and my space family, and that was wonderful.
That's beautiful.
That was a wonderful experience to be reunited with them, and find out you're not imagining things. This is really going on. You're doing okay. You got a mission here. You're on track. Just keep on going. we're proud of you, so on and so forth. So that was what I wanted to find out, because I have had, like I mentioned in the Starseeds book, I had some weird experiences.
Mm-hmm.
I had some,
Yeah.
and we can all relate to those lights, seeing the lights and different things that people have gone through.
Right. And I'm
And
sure it was very like confirming too to have
mhm,
that, because you don't know when you're going into the session what doorway and what you're gonna see. It just happens like a flash, an instant. I like to explain it to people like when you're imagining, like when you have an imagination, you're just imagining, you're using that part of the brain that operates with your imagination. So if you have the ability to visualize, which a lot of people do, you could easily see um, what's coming before you.
yeah, and I liked the fact that in each of the doorways, each person was a very significant person in my past, my infinite past, and they were very supportive and warm. I didn't feel I didn't feel scared or timid or anything. It was just like it was just like a reunion.
I
It
love
was it was like a reunion, and it was such a blessing to be able to I mean, I wish I could just do this all the time, because
that.
we're because we're so lonely here, and we've got these people that we call as family, and they're our soul family, but they're not our infinite family, and we've got this karmic mission we got to complete, and it's like it's kind of like a movie that you're not really a movie, but it's kind of like a reality show where you're put on this island with these strangers and you got to survive, and it's like these guys don't know what they're doing. He's an idiot, and he's this, and he's arrogant, and he's this, and all this stuff that we deal with our earthly family. And it's just so much just like a scene out of
hmm
Survivor Island.
Aw. Well, I'm glad this session brought you comfort and all the answers that you were seeking. That's
it,
beautiful.
it
And
did.
I know that when you go into the Infinite Cosmic Records, each session is going to be different and unique based on your intention. So,
Hmm.
well, how beautiful you were able to get all your questions answered.
I
Um,
went in with that intention. I
yeah.
went in with specific questions. I wanted to know.
hmm
I need to know what's going on here, and I got all the answers because the intention was so definite.
Yeah.
I mean, when your intention is just like
Boom.
right there,
Hones it in.
it hones it in, and there's no mistaking for, there's no way to um give me a different answer, because there's a specific question.
Yeah.
What is going on here with this? What's going on here with that? And you know you can't fake that. You
Right.
can't fake that. You either get a definite answer, or you're hearing baloney. And I didn't hear baloney, because they were saying stuff that no one else knew.
Oh, okay.
You
Well,
know,
that's
they were
helpful.
they were
That
saying
definitely
stuff
gives you
that
the
no
brief.
one else knew, and that reaffirmed, oh, they do know what they're talking about.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that's why um I have this newfound determination to really, really, really get going.
Well,
You
I'm
know,
really happy for you. That
get
sounds like
go,
this
get going.
very like enlightening experience and confirmation, and oh, how special. And a reuniting too. Must feel really good.
That's why I said I'd like to do this more often. It's like a family reunion, and it's too bad,
Mhm.
that we can't do this more often. I guess we could if we really wanted to, right? But
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you want a session with Maya,
yeah,
I know she's available.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. Thank you. I'm really excited for them to read in full the chapter. Um, and your overall experience with working with Rada Publishing House, how was that for you?
Excellent, excellent, very professional, very coaching, very nurturing, no questions. You get what you uh put into it, and they just guide you. They guide you along the way. Um there's no room for error because they're just coaching you, guiding you, and they're so one of the things that I loved that's different about them is they publish books that are different from everyone else's. You know,
Mhm.
they tackle different issues, subjects, and they're pushing the envelope on the edge of just like, way out there stuff. I mean, this is like unconventional stuff, and it's just stuff that ought to be made into movies.
True. I don't disagree with that. Oh, I love how you worded that. That's pretty cool. Would you recommend the Infinite Cosmic Records by Maya the Shaman to someone who's looking for some answers or just wanting to give it a shot?
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
There's so many people that could benefit from Maya the Shaman. I
Mhm.
mean, oh my God, because she's such a wonderful teacher and counselor and healer. That's the main thing, healer. And
Mhm.
if you need healing, she's the person to go to.
Yeah.
So I recommend her to a bunch of people.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, I want to thank you, Gina. It's been a pleasure having you back, and I look forward to everybody, reading your chapter on your journey down the Infinite Cosmic Records. And until the next time, I hope everything. You have an amazing, successful rest of your year. And thank you, everyone, for listening. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll be sure to link all the information down below regarding the book and how you can contact Maya if you'd like a session yourself. Have a great
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.